in northwestern Clay County. First of all, if anyone has a cell phone, we'd ask that you turn it to vibrate. Reminding you to turn it to vibrate, please. We'll take questions after we're done. I'd like to also introduce the people sitting here at the panel. On the far right down here, to your far left is Detective Chris Carter, the State Police. To his left is Detective Sam Sturley of the State Police. Clay County Lee Rehberger, myself, Joe Watts, Public Information State Police, and then Clay County Sheriff Mike Keaton. So hopefully today's events will shed some light on the northwestern home invasion and put some people at ease. And now I'd like to turn it over to Lee Rehberger.
Thank you. Just briefly to begin the press conference, as must be noted anytime we have a press conference, these matters remain under investigation. We're limited in the information that we can provide, and as these are simply allegations, the matter will be prosecuted by the state and the individuals are innocent until proven guilty. So if you would please continue to inform your listeners and your readers that at this point it is the subject of a prosecution. These are not convictions. These are allegations. In the early morning hours of January 14th, 2009, here in one of the rural parts of Clay County, a set of events were set in motion that we believe created victims in our community. Two individuals in their own home were confronted at their door by one or more individuals that were brandishing weapons, entered the home, and then injured one of those individuals and removed items from those locations. Because of an extensive investigation, this investigation started immediately after it was reported, the early morning hours of January 14th, 2009, and continues to this date. Today's date, the following individuals were charged formally in the Clay Superior and Clay Circuit Courts. First of all, James Levi Orman. James Levi Orman was charged with six counts. 6 counts, those counts being the following: robbery resulting in serious bodily injury as a Class A felony. Count 2, conspiracy to commit robbery resulting in serious bodily injury, also a Class A felony. Count 3, burglary resulting in bodily injury, a Class A felony. Count 4, aggravated battery, that being a Class B felony. Count 5, theft, a Class D felony. Count 6, residential entry, a Class D felony. James Levi Orman was brought over to the court for initial hearing. He was appointed a public defender, and his bond was set at $50,000, no 10% acceptable. And he was provided with pretrial conference dates and trial date, his trial date being June 8th, 2009. Also charged this date, Joshua L. Orman. Joshua L. Orman. His case also going through the Clay Circuit Court. Mr. Orman was charged with identical 6 counts. Identical 6 counts. That being the robbery resulting in serious bodily injury, conspiracy to commit robbery resulting in serious bodily injury, burglary resulting in bodily injury, aggravated battery, theft, residential entry. He also appeared before the judge of the Clay Circuit Court, that being Judge Joseph Trout. His bond was also set at $50,000, no 10%, and his trial date May 4th, 2009, and he was appointed a public defender as well. Also charged this date, Christopher Kraft. That matter proceeds through the Clay Superior Court with Judge J. Blaine Akers presiding. That matter is set for initial hearing before the court. The date has yet to be determined. based on that court's calendar. Pending that initial hearing, Mr. Kraft remains in the Clay County Jail under a bond of $50,000, no 10% acceptable. What we wish the community to know is that when these types of allegations come to law enforcement's attention, law enforcement will see to it that they do everything possible to investigate the matter fully, provide it to my office, and if appropriate, charges filed and what those charges will be. And that is exactly what happened in this matter. What is most impressive to me about this matter is early morning hours. We're not talking about noon. We're not talking the normal work hours. We're talking 4:30 in the morning. A crew of law enforcement members that were part of several different agencies basically take on the task of dealing with what turns out to be allegations of felony crimes against individuals here in the community. Hours later, I think at one point we were looking at 36 straight hours. These cops spent trying to track down every lead, investigate every tip, execute any search warrant that would probably or possibly have relevant information. And they did that. It was an exhaustive investigation, but they are still not done. There is more work to be done as we are continuing to look for any property that may have been the allegation of the theft, but we do wish to commend the members of the Indiana State Police, more specifically the members of the Criminal Investigation Division, 2 members seated here to my right, also the Sheriff of Clay County, Mike Heaton, and the individuals that from his agency that were a very integral part of this investigation. Also, it became apparent in the early part of this investigation that it might be tied to crimes occurring in Vigo County. And at that point, the Indiana State Police and the Clay County Sheriff's Department shared their information with the Vigo County Sheriff's Department to aid in their investigation. And believing that the matters may have been involving the same defendants, that joint investigation led to criminal charges being filed in Vigo County. We also would like to give credit where credit is due. We received invaluable help from the U.S. Marshals as they assigned an individual to be part of the investigating team that was here throughout the investigation. So with that said, I turn it over to Information Specialist Mr. Watts and the Sheriff for any additional comments before we open it up to questions.